What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Zeus, and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time at the channel, just know I greatly appreciate you for stopping by. Why don't you go ahead and hit subscribe? We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. We are taking it the humble route. Today, I came across a video with this woman, and she went to Harvard, the Harvard, to get an advanced degree in diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. And I'm going to be fair, but I have some thoughts, some critical thoughts, because this hit me personally. Because I taught at the collegiate level for about 4 years. I taught oral communications and public speaking, but it was just a transitory transition type of thing for me. I wanted to give back to my alma mater, being able to receive a master's degree and things like that. So it was nothing really permanent, but it gave me a front row seat to see how higher education and academia actually works. So, let's unpack this DEI degree. We'll watch the video and, we'll get into it. So this lady here, Mossy Matriarch, she went to Harvard for a DEI degree. And I honestly didn't know that, Harvard was offering these types of advanced degrees. I mean, it's Harvard, so they probably do have the type of, budget to experiment. But I'll let Mossy Matriarch, I'll let her tell her story, and then, we'll get into it.
Mostly equity and inclusion at the graduate level at Harvard right now. Basically, any college or university or public school that teaches those things will lose federal funding now. And they've also set up a website for people to rat on schools and individual teachers who are trying to teach equity and inclusion. That's my entire fucking degree. I'm trying to become a college professor. Apparently, that's illegal. Cool. I was going to start applying for FAFSA, but what's the fucking point now? So
Okay, so thank you, Mossy. So you heard it from her. She's trying to get an advanced degree in DEI to be a college professor, to what I would believe is to also teach DEI. And my initial gut reaction when I watched it earlier, it's, what are we doing? Like, I'm trying to be fair. She's obviously ambitious. She's chasing something she believes in, but I can't help but think this is probably not the smartest thing that I've heard in a while. I know that sounds harsh, but just hear me out. When I was teaching, right, my classes were practical: how to speak confidently, persuade an audience, structure a speech, skills you could actually use anywhere. But a DEI degree, I don't even know what that looks like in the classroom. Are you, sitting there, debating, I don't know, who's more depressed or who is less fortunate, who's more fortunate? I don't know. And I'm just obviously just guessing. Like, what would the syllabus even look like? You know what I mean? Like, week 1, let's apologize for history. Week 2, how to spot microaggressions. I'm not saying that there's no value in understanding people. There is, obviously, because my whole philosophy is you and diverse. But turning it into an advanced degree feels like we're just creating more indoctrination camps at universities. And a lot of people do have this same argument for universities and how they've kind of swayed in the the direction that they're going in. Because if you think about it, these are the same people, right? I don't know. She may or may not be liberal. I don't know. But, a lot of people who were liberal, they, wanted President Biden, to wipe out their student debt. And, now we're supposed to pay for a degree that, teaches you how to, talk to people about equity. I'm a taxpayer and I'd rather my money go to roads, schools, or helping create jobs, but not necessarily funding somebody's Harvard DEI degree, right? Because she said FAFSA. FAFSA is the federal government, federal aid for student loans and things like that. But if you're choosing this path personally, you got to own it. Pay for it out of your own pocket. Don't ask me to subsidize, you know, your education for a degree that I don't know how it could. Maybe it could. You guys can let me know in the comments. Can benefit society in the whole. And then, we can look at it from the other way. Like, what's the payoff, right? What job does this degree get you? So she said that she wanted to go and become a college professor. I mean, maybe you can get some government jobs if you don't want to, continue being a college professor. Maybe you can get a nice corporate HR job where you police people's language all day. But here's the thing, right? If I'm in the position, if I'm hiring and I see a DEI degree, master's degree from Harvard on a resume, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, how enticing would that be for me to want to hire you? And I'm not saying you don't have the skills, right? But just going off of your resume, you know what I mean? I'd rather hire someone with a degree in something tangible like engineering, communications, history, computer science, you know what I mean? Over this, because DEI feels like it's either you're teaching how to be extremely sorry or to be resentful to different types of people, right? It's either you're extremely sorry to certain groups of people or you're extremely resentful to a certain group of people, which in reality, neither of those adds value to a team, right? When I taught public speaking, my students left with skills that they could actually use, real world stuff, right? And I would, give my little nuggets of you and I verse, teaching people, learning from different people, and using those types of things that you learned and taught from each other based on our own personal experience, apply it to life. My students loved, the way I was teaching public speaking and teaching oral communications because I was tangible with it. I was teaching that each of us comes from a different walk of life, but those differences that we each have shouldn't be a difference that we can't hang out with each other. No, instead, it should be a collaborative effort and we should make a difference. Don't let it make a difference, but you should make a difference, right? But I don't know, with DEI, it just feels like it's designed for people who want to just feel, I don't know, morally superior without actually building anything. And outside of, certain government roles or certain corporations, most jobs like, factory work, small businesses, regular life, a lot of people don't care about DEI, unfortunately. And because to the average person, it's not really benefiting the average person. It reminds them, or it reminds me of, feminism, right? How did feminism get hijacked, right? It was started with good intentions, then it turned into something that broke homes and it left people worse off than before. And DEI kind of feels like that. A movement that's been co-opted and doesn't even serve the purpose that it claims to help. So where does that leave us? To me personally, this woman represents where America's going wrong. We're leaning into these fluffy degree programs, acting like they're for us. While we play Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" and post, crazy arguments on TikTok. Meanwhile, our culture is a mess, and we're funding it with taxpayer dollars. You know, it's interesting. Should, public money go to DEI degrees? I don't know. I mean, if you want it, you gotta work for that. You know what I mean? You gotta pay for it for yourself. And like I said, I've been in academia. I get the appeal of, chasing that title, professor. You see, my name is Professor Zeus. But we've got to stop pretending that this stuff is noble when it's just expensive nonsense, if you ask me. But that's my take. You know, I'm sending her positive energy to hopefully she can accomplish all the goals that she has for herself. But drop a comment. Am I being too harsh, or do you kind of lean with my argument a little bit? Let me know. It's interesting times we live in, for sure. But if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the bell notification so you guys are always notified when I drop a new video. Drop a comment, send this to somebody who you might think might see value in the video, and never ever forget, it's you and I verse for a reason. I teach you, you teach me. We both take what we taught each other, what we learned from each other, and apply it to what's going on. That's the only way life can go on. Until next time, peace.